Hello everyone, this is Big E, and today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of Star Trek Online. This is one MMO that I've been really doing a lot of. It's something I've been doing for several years now, as you can probably see with all my characters. Now, Acleus is my main character that I'm trying to use. It does have what's called a temporal multi-mission science vessel, and so it looks different from what most people are expecting, but I have a few others that actually will look a little bit more familiar. So for an example, here's another one. Now, all of these I've either been able to win over through a long time use or I bought. So here's another, which actually has Prometheus, which actually can separate itself in 3 different parts. You were able to see that in Star Trek Voyager at one point. Now, Celtac is actually one of my more main ones. This is the one I actually first started out with. I've actually, when I was younger, I had my own little story about the USS Atlantis. And that if I was a character on TNG or DS9, I would have wanted to be a Vulcan. And I named him Celtac. So here he is. Now, weaponry is actually based on getting the new character list. You get a lot of extra stuff as you do it. I haven't worked as much on him yet, but I am planning on working more. Right now, he does have kind of a T5 ship, which is a little bit lesser than the other ships that I've shown, which are considered T6, which is considered pretty much the highest up, although there are premium T6 ships that are actually, I would say, a little bit higher. So as you can see here, we also have some of the older, the original series kind of characters that I first started out with. Stories can go either in the current time period about, that is TNG like, or Voyager. I guess you would say Picard now. But you can go back to the original series, you can go back to Discovery. Eventually though, they come here. They come to what's considered the current time. So, and that particular ship, yeah, I didn't actually have to buy that, just as much as the temporal ship. It was one of the ones I was able to choose after 1 year of doing a lot of grinding and doing a lot of extra events and things like that. That's one thing you can actually do, but it takes its time, man. It takes its time. And then, of course, we can always start over. Currently, I'm just doing some basic stuff with him. I think I might still be in the old. I can't remember, but I'll have to check and see again. There was also a time for a Klingon version in order to get more stuff, and I will show you with Acleus what I mean by that. Now, Palin is the one I started out with Discovery, but now I have basically the Enterprise-E, or what's considered the future version from the final episode of TNG. And then CJ Bishop, that's actually the first guy that I thought of when I was younger. He was the captain of the USS Atlantis. And so I pretty much made this up just for him, to have him on there. Celtech is right over there, so you actually do see him as if he was younger, whereas in here he's actually older. So you can kind of sort of make a little bit of your own. So, but let me go ahead and start with Acleus. Now, see, here we have little something we can do on Ryza, and we can actually get a free T6 ship. This ship is actually in TNG from the first 2 episodes. And so, you know, it's kind of interesting to be able to actually be able to test it out, see if you like it. A lot of times you don't, because it doesn't really fit your character, but you might be able to use it for something else. So as you can see here, here's my ship. You can of course look at other ships, look at other people, what they're about. Looks like a big Romulan ship. Kind of looks kind of rusty. And yet we do actually have a chat channel. So this is my ship with a variety of things that you actually have. You can upgrade them. You can do a variety of things with them. There's just a lot. Now these T6 ships, they come with actually pretty good stats usually, and you do increase them as you master. So as you're doing things, you actually start mastering these tiers, and basically you get extra buffs. And you'll be able to, although you can earn them, you can also buy them to get extra abilities for the ship, which is why there is this universal console here, because otherwise it wouldn't be there. Alright, so this particular ship is a temporal ship. So what happens is this particular ship has not just the regular abilities, but it also has temporal abilities. So like this one here has certain physical damages, and based on what I can do, that can actually be done. And so you do have a variety of things that you can do. This is actually one of my favorite, is the gravity well. And then you also are able to pick your awakening, and you're able to give them abilities. And some of those abilities can be, like for an example, Spock is Miracle Worker. And I think Tarva, yeah, she's temporal. Which I think this one actually does something there. So she's got some stuff there. So the thing is while you're working on everything for yourself, you do get specific captain skills. You go through them. A lot of times people will do a lot of more tactical, so that their weapons, especially their cannons, are a lot stronger. I've made mine to be a little bit more on the science level, so that a lot of my science abilities would actually really do a lot of devastation. I can change these, but you actually have to do some things in order to make that happen. That's actually through reputation, but we'll go through that later. There's also, of course, the ground skills. Now, you don't get a whole lot, so you can't fill it all, unfortunately. Now, here's are my personal traits that you can go through. Some things are pretty known, like, you know, being able to know rifle and assault rifles and things like that. You can definitely change them as you go, depending upon what you have, what you want. It just depends how you use it. These are things that you eventually get, or you eventually are able to somehow get through a variety of different ways. So parts of those ways is you can buy it. Another way you can actually get it through an event. It just depends. These particular parts are things that you are able to eventually get. These are extra buffs, and you get them doing reputations. So each one of these, you can pick and choose what you want, depending upon how you want to use it. And there's, of course, a variety. There's space and there's ground. Now, these particular active ones, these are actual abilities that you can use on the outside. So, you have the ability to actually use them. So, for an example, this particular one here, quantum singularity manipulation, what this actually does is actually makes me cloaked, but it also gives my science stats extra power. So here I could do that, but eventually I go right back to it. But it gets my science stats a lot higher. And that's stuff that you earn. Some of these things you can put an automatic power to it, depending upon what you're doing. A lot of things are great because it'll automatically go through. Other times, though, you'll need to get them on your own. So, like this one is one of those that you would need to do, but you can. I know these wheels are pretty big and everything, but some of these things, like for an example, turning myself to look like a particular like heavy bioship, that's something I bought. Or having the crystalline shard is something I can just create and it comes out. It's something you can actually buy. And what I mean by buy in this case is not actually using real money. We do have a dilithium store that we can use to buy them. Now, a lot of times we'll have to buy a Phoenix Prize pack and use that. So there's kind of a lot to go through, but probably best to sometimes show you, especially if you are a Star Trek fan. I would definitely highly recommend it. So why don't we go ahead and do a patrol. Now there's quite a few patrols here. These patrols are just things that you can do. It gives you rewards, dilithium, which is something you will need to use for certain things, and it's quite helpful. Most thing, I think pretty much all of them, except for I think the castle may actually be they're just for having the ship. But you can, I think two of them, like the castle one, two castle ones here, which is new. I don't know why they have it, because that's a kind of a Halloween thing, because it's based on Catspaw, the original series. But let's go ahead and do this. So, here we go.
It is good to see you, but I do not believe we require assistance. Our sensors have detected several containers of restricted substances on this vessel.
Uh-oh.
My agents will
We're in
board the
trouble.
ship, confiscate the contraband, and detain any involved parties.
Oh, please, you have to help me. I was framed. I bought these goods from a Ferengi merchant. Quinn was his name. He gave me a great price.
Oh, no, Quinn.
I'll gladly hand the items over.
Stay out of our way! We're here for the goods on that ship. Our contract doesn't prohibit the use of violence, so give us the containers and everyone lives to see tomorrow.
You are hereby deputized to assist the Benthan Authority with this issue. You will help us to bring these criminals to justice. Arm your weapons and commence your attack. The Hazari claims on the contraband are irrelevant. The laws on trafficking in this sector of space are clear. They are fortunate we did not find them in possession of the cargo already. Wishing to possess contraband isn't a crime. The Hazari are free to go, but if they interfere in our lawful duties, we are authorized to respond with appropriate force.
Well, the USS Time Lord is ready to assist you. Alright, so let's get going. Okay, where's the baddies? Okay. Where are they? Here we are. So you can actually see I have some upgrades. I also have fighter squadrons that come with me. That's actually part of what this ship can do, and I can pick a variety of different kinds of squadrons to use.
Thank you. We will take this criminal back to Benthos for questioning. Once we have him squared away.
Alright, so we do actually get a variety of different things. We get experience and we get dilithium. Now usually our first time we do a patrol, we get extra dilithium. The next one would actually be 500, I believe, each time. But technically getting dilithium is a good thing. Now I know I didn't explain as much. So, and then here are the available rewards. Now when you are doing reputation, you'll need to pick the one that you want to use the most. Reputation gives you certain abilities. So as you can see there, the new captain traits, like hull repairing nanites, these are those traits that we saw over here. These are the traits that you can pick and choose. So as you go, you'll be able to select them. Like, so an example, the temporal. You may have seen, well, let me see, I think not the Lucari, I think it was Iconian, that had like these particular things that you saw. There you go, there's one of them, and then there's that one too. So once you get through to them, you're able to select them. And that actually does help you in a lot of different things. As you go, when you get up to past here, you'll be able to grab a lot of different things here. You can even do a retraining, but you'll have to make sure you have all the stuff. You're able to get a vanity shield, so it looks different on the outside. But you're able to get these other things here on your own. And each one of these things, for an example, this one, if you get the set of 4, you'll be able to have the power of math. So you can do it that way. You also get the Mycelial Lightning, and also the whole regeneration at the same time. So as you can kind of see here with the power of math, it gets up to, 20,000 damage or so. So it's one of the reasons why I picked it, was because of that. And that is one of my abilities, the power of math. So as you can see, that's one of the things that you can do. And that's just for that. Let me take care of these. Most of the time I had to get rid of them. These infinity lockboxes, you're able to get a lot of different things, but getting a key is not always easy. Most of the time I feel like I'll just have to buy it, but it's too expensive just to buy. So there are supposedly ways to do it. I haven't really picked up much on that because I just haven't felt like doing it, but there are times when you'll actually see people getting like a T6 ship and things. That's how they get it, is through that. Now, of course, there's a variety of different things here. A lot of these are for something else. So, I'm going to go ahead. We're going to actually go down on Rhizo. But I'm going to do that in the next episode. Doing more of a ground kind of flavor. So, we'll be right back.